Welcome back to LTR Gaming. It's your boy Troy, and I just completed another game here, Robocop Rogue City. If you know me, then you know I'm a big fan of Robocop. This is a series that I've been following since I was a very small young lad. I've been following this franchise for a very long time, since the 80s. And I was just fascinated with the whole man machine as a young kid, in the 80s. And I remember my mom used to rent this particular movie, VHS. I know, VCRs, cassette tapes. I'm old. It's 2025. A lot of you guys don't know what that is. But yeah, I rolled the credits on this particular game today in 2025. I know it came out in 2023, a couple of years ago, November the 2nd. And, to be quite honest, I had mixed feelings about it. I really didn't think it was going to be that good because, when a lot of these gaming companies try to do renditions of movies as video games, it's a kind of hit and miss type of experience, and I've experienced a lot of those. But one of the most recent video games that I played that was adopted from a movie was that Terminator game that came out a couple of years ago. I believe it was Terminator. I forget the name of it, but it was one of the most recent Terminator games. It was a first-person Terminator game, and it gave you that real feeling of you being afraid of being spotted by one of these Terminators and being powerless, and you being a human and not being able to compete against these things. And you got to sneak around and fight when you can and pick and choose your battles. And I was like, wow, it made me feel like I was actually immersed living in this world. Well, playing as Robocop in Robocop Rogue City, you actually play as Robocop, and you play in first person view perspective, and you feel like you're actually Robocop. Every time you move, you feel the thump of your movements and the weight of your body and the armor, and you just feel like a badass rolling throughout the city and upholding the law. And of course, it gives you bits and pieces of the background that alluded to parts that the movie gave us. And you play as Alex Murphy, obviously the officer who was pretty much damn near killed and then brought back to life, and now he lives as Robocop. And you go throughout the city, stopping crime and solving miscellaneous things such as giving out tickets in this game, saving cats out of trees, pulling women out of burning buildings. You do all kind of stuff in this game. It's not like you're just walking around just aimlessly shooting people throughout the whole 15 hours of playing this game. No, actually you're doing like real police stuff. Like you actually go back to the police station, people show up and give like civil complaints, and you actually answer some of those complaints. You actually bring along a rookie police officer, and he actually becomes your partner for a good portion of the game, and you teach him the ropes and give him encouragement and self-esteem, and bring him along and encourage him to be a better officer. I mean, the story and the thoughtfulness and the detail that they brought to this game, I have a lot of respect for those that actually made it. And I just really think that they took their time with the source material and the movies and everything like that and brought it to this game. And you can tell, especially for someone that watched all of the Robocop movies, and by the way, not all of the Robocop movies were any good, but being that as it is, I really enjoyed that they took a lot of lore from the actual movies. Now, again, you're like a rolling tank. Again, if you watch the Robocop movies, he's like kind of indestructible to a degree. Bullets are bouncing off of you. You can pinpoint your shots, and it's a lot of gruesome kills in this game. You can he punches someone, he's splattering you against the wall. You can grab motorcycles and throw them at people. You can use the environments to your advantage and ricochet bullets off walls to hit enemies behind cover. I mean, it's a lot of things that lend well to the lore of being Robocop. And then, of course, you got a lot of hit points from the movies. You have your partner, Lewis, in this particular game. She's alongside of you for a lot of the missions. And, the voice acting is very good. I believe they brought Peter Weller back, who actually voiced Robocop in the movies, and his likeness as well as the facial part of Robocop, because at some point in time he does take off his helmet, and you get to see his face and whatnot. So they did a good job with that. But again, it's not an open world environment. I will say that it's like an open space in certain areas where you're roaming the city. And in this open space, they give you different objectives that you can actually tackle. You can choose not to, or you can choose to attack certain objectives and side missions and whatnot if you choose to. But that's how you actually level up in the game, because the more side missions you do, the more credits you get or experience points you get, which lend wells to you leveling up your Robocop. And you can level up your shooting, you can level up your dialogue, you can level up so many different facets of you being this ultra powerful, unstoppable cop that is basically, just a beast and just upholding the law. And again, I just love the feel. And when you're in a mission and that music goes dun, 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 and you killing shit and you shooting shit down and you holding it down, it's just like I feel like a boss. I mean, it just brings up so much nostalgia. At least for me it does, because I'm so familiar again with the movies. There are some boss battles in the game, like you fight the Ed 209s in the game several times. And initially, when you fight the Ed 209s, like in the movies, they're tough. They're tough adversaries. They're huge machines. And then once you figure out their pattern and how they attack, and how you are more maneuverable than they are, they're fairly simple to take down after a while. But it was cool seeing the Ed 209s and attacking them and fighting them. And then, along the way, you actually fight one of the robots, Kane robot in Robocop 2. You get to fight that robot as well. So again, they took a lot of beat points from the actual movie and the lore, which I thought they would. And again, they did it in a very tasteful way. They didn't just throw everything at you at one time, and it didn't make sense. Everything to me made sense, how they introduced every boss and every facet of the game. And it's not like you just go from one scene or one moment to one moment without any rhyme or reason. Everything made sense. And of course you got the OCP factor, working in opposition of Detroit Police Department, which Robocop, Alex Murphy, who is Robocop, but when he was a human, he used to work for Detroit Police Department. And they're working in opposition of each other, even though OCP created Robocop, but Robocop works for Detroit Police Department. I know you're like, well, what do you mean? Basically, Robocop was created by OCP, which is a private firm corporation who created Robocop after Alex Murphy died. And now Robocop still sees himself as Alex Murphy, works for Detroit Police Department, but he's working in opposition of OCP, the people who actually created him. So you got that dilemma going on. So you got the back and forth banter going on with that. Again, the voice acting was good. The graphics is really good. Detroit, they give you some day scenes. They give you some night scenes where you get some night play, some day play. Second to none, 4K. The graphics were very, very great, crisp. Attention to detail was very much there. They didn't skip a beat. And I pretty much enjoyed it. Now, I'm not saying it's on a par of, some of the modern games that are out right now in 2025. Remember, this game came out 2 years ago in 2023, but hell, the game still looks good. And again, I wonder now, are they actually going to create maybe a series? Because I would like to see them create a series going forward if they would like to. Because I think this game actually sold better than actually I think they thought that it would. And again, Nacon produced this. This is running on Unreal Engine 5. I'm telling you, won't be disappointed. I would definitely like you guys to go out and get this again. Check it out.
You have 20 seconds to comply. You have 20 seconds to comply.